credit, no more credit.
More bread and dripping hour, Raymond?
No, thanks.
Good. Well, you better get down from the table, then. More bread and dripping hour, Bunny?
No, thanks. I'm ready for me pudding now.
Well, this is your pudding.
Bread and dripping?
Put some sugar on it.
Well, can't we have any stewed apples?
No, we can't have any stewed apples. You know, you think apples grows on trees, you do. Excuse me, I didn't hear you ask to help yourself.
What's the matter? I've only had 8 slices.
I hope you know that that is tomorrow's breakfast you're eating. When this loaf's gone, we've had it. All of us. We'll be living on turnips the rest of this week.
There's naught wrong with turnips, chopped up with a bit of onion, a few carrots, and a nice, tender rabbit.
I've told you for the last time, Jack Shepherd, you are not bringing Mrs. Wilkinson's rabbit onto these premises.
It's called Bunny, same as me, and it's got black ears.
My, you have got a lot in common, haven't you?
And when it looks at you, it sort of wrinkles up its nose like that and stares at you with those big, lovely eyes.
It'd go smashing with dumplings.
No rabbits, no livestock whatsoever comes through that door. And that includes frozen chickens.
Frozen chickens aren't livestock.
One of you had better come up with some ideas. Scratch your heads and see what you can come up with. So what have you come up with?
Dandruff.
Oh, very funny. You know, you should be on the end of the pier, you should. Then you could jump off. Well, lads, this is our darkest hour. And what do we do in our darkest hour?
We go out and nick something.
We do not go out and nick something. A desperate situation calls for a desperate remedy. One of us has got to go out and get himself a job.
Oh, what?
A job, Douglas. All sorts of people have jobs, you know. I had one myself once. It was down at the clothing factory, and do you know, I used to work 4 and 5 days on end sometimes.
And, which one of us did you have in mind, ma'am?
Hey, don't look at me. I've filled call booking for the last 2 days running.
Only because I sprained me back. Hey, I ought to be in bed in my condition. I ought to be flat on me back.
You will be flat on your back if you don't stop moaning. Now, I've had enough excuses. Which one of you is going to volunteer?
Hey, I know what we do, Queenie. We'll toss up for it.
Oh, no, you don't. Not with that double-headed penny.
Oh, you always fall for that double-headed penny bit, don't you, Douglas? You know it's got 2 heads. Why do you always call tails?
I'm a Republican.
Anyway, it's not legal tender, that double-headed penny. Not since decimals came in.
Well, Bunny, with your legal training and our Douglas's Republican conscience, what would you say to a French franc?
Ooh, hey up, Frank. I can file this down and bung it in a jukebox, this.
Oh, that'll solve all our problems, won't it? We can starve to death by music. No, we're going to toss for it. Now then, we'll have Douglas versus Raymond and Bunny versus Jack.
Oh, shouldn't we toss for who calls?
Shut up and call.
Tails.
Heads.
Ah!
Raymond?
Tails.
Tails it is. So, it's Douglas versus Bunny. Gentlemen, I give you the greatest sporting event of this year. It's going to be a knockout between Douglas and Bunny. And the one that loses goes down to that employment exchange and gets himself a job. Right. Douglas, call. Oh, where's it gone?
It's under the settee.
Throw it again, ma'am.
There's no need to throw it again. Your fate lies under that settee. Now, Douglas, what did you call?
Tails.
You sure you don't want to change your mind?
All right, then, heads.
Right. Don't move the sofa back. Move it back. Go on.
Up.
I want everything fair, square, and above board here. Now, what do you call Douglas?
Heads, ma'am.
Tails. All right, there's no need to keep cheering. He's the one that's got to go and get the job. Right, Douglas, it's over the top and the best of British luck to you.
Hey, Douglas, do you want a blindfold?
Hey, Douglas. Any last requests?
Yes. Get knotted.
Can't we just have one sit, ma'am?
Get your hands off. That belongs to our Douglas. It's his present.
Never mind. Wait till he gets back from work. We'll all be on shorts then.
Well, you don't think he's going to get an advance already, do you? You have to do a week's work before you get paid, Jack Shepherd, or don't you remember?
He's got to find a job first.
Oh, he'll find a job once he gets down to the employment exchange. It's whether or not he finds the employment exchange is worrying me. You sure he knows where it is?
It's that big red building down near the market, isn't it?
No, that's a telephone exchange. And if they sign him on down there, God help the first person that tries to make a trunk call.
I hope he's coming.
Hey!
Come on.
Get your hands off it. Our Douglas, it's his whiskey. You've been needing that.
You'll be needing it in a minute as well, ma'am.
Oh, for goodness sake. I mean, he's only been out looking for a job. Anybody'd think that he'd been... Hell, fire!
Is that mine?
Douglas. You still there, our Douglas?
Yes.
Well, you can send us in another round of drinks. And I'm going over to vodka and lemonade.
You can go over to methylated spirits for all I care. If I'm not good enough to sit with, I am not good enough to drink with.
You'll do as you're told, my lad, otherwise you'll find yourself sleeping out tonight on a double yellow line. I should never have let him go down to that employment exchange on his own. They're looking out for young, impressionable lads like him, you know. And when they walk through the door, they've got 'em crash bang, straight into a uniform with their hair all cut off. I'm surprised he didn't go the whole hog and join the police force.
He wouldn't have me. Not tall enough.
Good evening, Mrs. Shepherd.
Evening, Mr. Richardson.
Hey, what's your Douglas got on? Is he going to a fancy dress ball?
See what it's going to be like?
With a laughing stock.
Hey, do you mind if I park over here?
Yes, we do mind.
Why, is it a restricted area? Restricted area?
Who's this with, Jeremy?
It's from a stranger. It's from the traffic warden sitting it snug. Oh, sorry, Raymond. It won't happen again.
It better hadn't. There's always the Drummond monkey, you know.
We'll have to go somewhere where nobody knows us. Like Canada.
Now, look, Raymond, just keep calm. The important thing in a crisis to remember is keep calm. Oh, Douglas, how could you do it? How could you torture me like this, your own mother?
You told me to get a job.
I told you to go and jump in the river last week. You didn't take any notice of me then, did you?
You told me to get a job. They said I could either be a traffic warden or go and work in a brewery.
Brewery?
You turned down a job in a brewery?
He's out of his mind, Queenie. He's raving.
You keep out of it. He's my flesh and blood, no matter what he's done. Douglas, love. Are you still there?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like to tell me why you turned down a job in a brewery?
Because they don't give you a uniform.
Well, all right then, Douglas. Go on. Nobody else can hear you.
Well, I've always wanted a uniform, ever since I were a nipper. But you would never let me have one, would you? You never let me join the Cubs or the Sea Scouts. And then there was that tram conductor's outfit that I wanted one Christmas, and you were too stingy to even buy me that. And you never let me join the Communist Party when I were 18.
But they don't wear a uniform in the Communist Party, love.
They wear badges and armbands sometimes. Any road, I've got both now. A peaked cap, notebook, shiny buttons, and a proper uniform.
It's all my fault. It's all my fault. I've deprived him. I've been a bad mother. And now I've got my own cross to carry. And when the neighbours point me out in the streets and say, her lad's a traffic warden, I have nobody to blame but myself.
Well, don't think anybody's going to point at me in the street, because he doesn't come near me in that uniform.
Right, Raymond, right.
And he doesn't come near that flat in it either.
Bloody right.
Just a minute. I say who comes into that flat, not you.
I'm telling you.
And I'm telling you, I will not allow this perversion of nature to set brother against brother and son against mother.
I heard that, our Raymond.
Douglas, do you know what I'm going to do when you've left the traffic wardens? I'm going to buy you a little tram conductor's uniform all of your own.
Fares, please.
Ding, ding.
Just watch it, you lot. Just watch it. Remember who's buying them drinks?
Oh, they do remember, love, and they're very grateful, aren't we?
He doesn't look grateful. He looks mocking. And he doesn't look grateful either. You're running out of fags hour, Raymond, aren't you?
Yeah, you wouldn't let me go out to fags hour, kiddo, would you?
Look grateful, then. Look even more grateful.
He is grateful, love. We all are.
Of course we are. Good health, Douglas.
Good health.
Aye, yeah, good health.
The bar's empty now. Why don't you come and join us?
Right. I don't say much, usually. But I do have feelings, you know.
Of course you do. Come and have a drink.
In a minute. Excuse me. Is that your van parked outside?
What?
We're being watched. Here, put your raincoat over him.
Quick. Come on. Get him out.
You ain't gonna bring me away to get you. You won't be seeing that. You get him.
Get going.
Yeah!
You lousy git, Douglas!
You can complain to who you like. You can complain to the Lord Mayor. It's no skin off my nose. And in future, stop reading my postcards. Douglas, I do wish you'd stop booking that postman. All comes back on me, you know, and I have to stick up for you.
He knows the rules. No parking outside the post office on even dates.
But that doesn't include the Royal Mail van, love. There's got to be some leeway.
Hey, but young Basil Cuthbertson yesterday.
Basil Cuthbertson, but he's only 4 years old.
I know, he left his noddy car parked on a double yellow line. He went for Jimmy Riddle.
Douglas, have you got no compassion?
I'm only doing my job.
I'm only doing my job.
That's what they said at Nuremberg trials.
Just remember who bought that egg you're eating. You don't say that on paydays, do you?
You never mind paydays, Douglas. You're not going to have to worry about paydays anymore. This is a letter from your father. Listen. Please excuse spidery writing, but I have just been out for the one. My luck has changed at pontoon, and I'm also doing some overtime. Please find enclosed money order for £30.
Hey, can't be bad.
Bloody hellfire. The return of the prodigal father. Hey, we'll frame this.
We'll cash it, you mean, as soon as possible. If pickled onion has won at Catterick by the time you get this letter, there will be plenty more where that came from. Here, Jack, you're the racing expert. What do you know about pickled onion?
Trained by Captain Jackson, tipped by Red Marie and Daily Express, course and distance runner. Beaten second favourite last time out, carries 9 stone 10, usually ridden by Taffy Evans.
Never mind its biography. Did it win?
Of course it did, 33 to 1.
33 to 1.
Oh, 33 to 1. Now, wait a minute. He'll have a £10 bet on it, because he always does.
£10?
Now, there'll be £20 for his night out and a £10 fine. Don't write on the tablecloth, our Raymond. Now, then, how much is that? 10...
300 quid our man.
300 Don't get too excited. We're going to put all that in the post office on Monday morning. And we can draw it out again on Friday. And I'm going to buy you a bottle of rum to yourself, our bunny, as long as you promise to clear up after yourself.
I will.
Here, while I think of it, let's have a vote of thanks for one who has stood by us through all these weeks of trial and tribulation.
Yeah, I second that.
Be upstanding, gentlemen. The toast is our Douglas, the family breadwinner.
Our Douglas.
Is me cap on straight?
No, love, it needs to be just a fraction. Oh, never mind your cap. You can throw that behind the fire back now. Your dad sent us some money, love.
Is one of these epaulets higher than the other?
I'm not getting through to you, am I, Douglas? Your dad has sent us some money. Crinklies, you don't need to work anymore.
Where's me knapsack?
Right, see ya.
Well, don't give him it. He's not going to work if he doesn't have to.
Got the habit now, you see. It's just like drug taking, it gets in the bloodstream.
It's the uniform what does it. Now, look, Douglas, when you go down to the town hall this morning to chuck in your job with the traffic wardens, come back via the Salvation Army and join up with them. Come on, our Raymond, give him his knapsack.
Here, Douglas, you'll have to beg for it. Go.
All right, exercise for one morning. Here, what's all this?
Get off them, them's me earnings.
Earnings? You earn 20 quid a week, and we've spent that for you. There must be over 50 quid here.
It's me perks.
You crafty devil.
No wonder he's so keen to get to work. He's been taking backhanders.
All right, back to breakfast, everybody. Go on, I'll deal with this. Now then, Douglas, have you been taking backhanders?
Of course I have.
Of course I have. You, Douglas Shepherd, are supposed to be a servant of Her Majesty the Queen, and traffic wardens do not take backhanders.
I know they don't, but this one does.
Ashamed of you, I really am. You've been cracking on about uniforms and pouncing up and down like General Montgomery, and all the time you've been taking dropsy.
You'd be amazed what some of these businessmen pay for parking all day long on a double yellow line.
You're a parasite, Douglas, a parasite. What are you?
Parasite, ma'am.
And you know what'll happen if you get caught, don't you?
Well, I'll get the sack, so what?
You'll get more than the sack. You'll get 5 years, and don't take my word for it. Listen to our Jack. Jack, Raymond, Bunny. Raymond? Oh, where've they gone?
What the hell do you think you're doing? Well, I'm wearing that cage, lady. Come here. Hey, you pig! Get up!
Hello. It's going to cost you £2 if you want to park here, you know. Thanks.